While we've all heard of hoarders who refuse to get rid of items in their homes, unnecessary stashing has now gone electronic. Digital hoarding is the reluctance to eliminate electronic material that's no longer valuable to its user, from emails to music files to photos on your cell phone. The inability to hit delete is a problem that we're only beginning to understand. Joining us from New York is digital lifestyle expert and entrepreneur in residence at the Neat Company, Cohen Crompton. Great to have you with us, Jen.
Thank you so much.
So there are shows based on this stuff where people have this emotional connection to things and they just can't get rid of things out of their homes. Is it the same with digital hoarding? Is it an emotional thing?
It is. You know, we kind of have that fear of missing out. And in this case, it's the fear of deleting. So we take pictures. We may take 5 or 6 pictures trying to get, the perfect selfie or the perfect photo. And then once we get that perfect one, we forget to delete the rest of them, or we worry that if we delete it, we might need it. So that comes in the same with digital documents and music files. Music files, you may not listen to them for years, but you're so worried about deleting it because you invested in downloading it. You've either paid for it or you've invested your time in collecting all of these documents. It's scary to think that if you delete it, it's going to not exist anymore.
I thought this was a really interesting stat that 52% of people claim that the stuff that they have is irreplaceable, yet they only use maybe 20%.
Sure. I mean, that's like, you think about clothing. We have a wardrobe full of all these clothes, but we only use 20% of them. But we worry about deleting the rest of them. And there was actually a study by hackers, and they surveyed 20,000 people. And of the 20,000 people, 44% of them said that they need a terabyte of storage on their computer. Now, if you think about a terabyte of storage, what it is compared to is, remember CD-ROMs, the plastic CDs that you used to burn your music onto? They hold about 700 megabytes of storage. So if you take 1,500 of those, that's 1 terabyte of storage space. So that's a huge amount of space. But 44% of those people thought that that was how much space they needed to have on their computers to hold all of their digital stuff.
How do you know if you're a digital hoarder? And if you realize that you are, what do you do?
So an easy way to do it, open up your phone and take a look and see how many photos you have. I did this with a friend yesterday. She had 11,000 photos, which included 1,600 screenshots and about 600 selfies.
Wow.
So I said to her, you are a digital hoarder. And then I kind of talked to her about the rest of her stuff that she had. And she runs a small business. And she said, I have all of these documents on my computer. My computer's starting to run kind of slow. What am I supposed to do about it? And, the first part of it is just identifying that you have this problem, right? You have to admit that you're a digital hoarder to be able to fix it. The second part of it is understanding why you have this issue. Is there a deep emotional connection to your stuff, or is it just from that fear of missing out? What is making you hold on to this stuff? The next part of it is just understanding what you have. So you need to know if it's a bunch of photos, if it's audio files, or if it's a bunch of versions of documents that you never deleted V1, V2 when you got to your final document. And then the last part of that is just understanding what you need to do about it and organizing. So when it comes to organizing, it might be that you use some cloud services to store your data. And there are things that you need to access daily, so you may want to hold on to them as much as you can. You may also start archiving and putting things to the back of your closet per se. And then the last part of that is delete, right? So once we have an idea of what we have and we know what we need to do with it, we can finally maybe hit that delete button and actually feel okay about it.
Thanks so much for joining us, Jen. Good info.
Thank you.